Next topic, RAM compatibility. When installing memory, it is important to be familiar with RAM compatibility for your system. You need to ensure that you are installing the correct type of memory: SDRAM, DDR, DDR2, or DDR3. Also, be aware of the speed of memory your system takes. When adding memory to a system, faster memory is compatible with slower memory. But the downfall is that the faster memory will run at the lower speed if used. RAM compatibility. So, as far as the faster is compatible with the slower, you got fast, you got slow, and here's the memory sticks. Well, you first have to make sure they're the same type. So they both have gold pins, right? So they both got gold, right? Gold and gold. And they're both DDR, and they both are 100 megahertz. So they both have the same speed, 100 megahertz. And they're both DIMM, dual inline memory modules. But one of them's faster. So you can still use them both interchangeably or together. You can use them both together. But the fast one will always meet the slow one. You can't make the slow one go fast. So you can still use them together, but the fast is going to have to go slow. So the slow will never go fast, but the fast can go slow. It'll force to go slow. But at least there'll be more memory. Oh, how depressing. The slow will never go faster. Oh, God. That's just the way it is in the computer world. Right? Installing memory on desktop PCs. After you purchase the correct type of memory, meaning the correct type at the correct speed with the correct number of pins, you are ready to install the memory. Take off the computer's cover. You should see the DIMM slots on the motherboard, which are typically colored blue or black. Lightly but firmly place the DIMM in the socket and then push down and clamp either end in place with the clips available. Note that when you install the memory module can only go in one way, as there are grooves in the slot that the module has to sit in properly. Installing, all right, so let's see. So take off the computer's cover, but you're also going to want to be wearing a wrist strap. Right? So here you are, and you want to have a wrist strap. Right? You're taking off the computer's cover here, and it's metal, and you're going to want to hook up the one end of this strap to this metal, and here's your system, right? And there's all your stuff on here. So you're going to want to ground yourself because you don't want to fry any of the components, because even if you have only a 20 volts of shock can damage one of these chips. And so you want to ground yourself before touching any of the components. So you got your little wrist strap here, connected to the metal case. So you're grounded. Now you're going to do the work on the computer. So after you make sure that you got the correct type and the correct speed with the correct number of pins, you're ready to install the memory. You take off the cover, and you should see the DIMM slots on the motherboard, which are typically colored black or blue. Lightly but firmly place the DIMM in the socket, and then push down and clamp either end in place with the clips available. So here's your little slot. And you got this memory stick. You're gonna put this into the slot. And the slot is usually black or blue. And then there's clips. I don't know what they look like. But you're going to push the clips in place. Note that when you install the memory module can only go in one way, as there are grooves in the slot that the module has to sit in properly. So the memory module they have little grooves, also known as keys. So here's our pins. And so whenever this module goes into the slot, this groove has to fit. Basically, it's like a puzzle. There'll be something here, and it'll be a hollow indentation. And in the slot, on one side, you'll see something that's the opposite of an indentation. And so you put it the way a puzzle piece would go. Or the way it's worded here is when you install the memory module can only go in one way, as there are grooves in the slot that the module has to sit in properly. So this little groove has to sit in this space just so. So you'll see it. You'll see the slots, and you'll see how it. Don't force it. You don't want to jam it in there, because you're doing something incorrect. You will damage your system, your components. Installing memory on laptop systems. Installing memory on today's laptop systems is just as easy as installing memory on a desktop PC. The first step is to make sure you buy the correct type of memory for the laptop. Again, check the laptop documentation before heading to the store. Check the documentation. To install your memory, flip the laptop over. You'll notice a door on the bottom of the laptop that can be removed. This is where you add memory. A door that can be removed. This is where you add memory. So I see a place to remove the battery, but as far as the memory, I don't see that. I don't know. Oh shit. There it is. The door. Man, I don't even see screws on here. Sheesh. You'll notice a door on the bottom of the laptop that can be removed. This is where you add memory. After the cover is removed, you can insert the SODIMM into an empty slot by lightly placing the SODIMM into the memory slot on a slight angle, and then clamping it back into place, as shown in figure 3.9. If you are replacing memory, first remove the old memory module by pressing the clips on the side and then lifting out the old memory. When you have the SODIMM locked in place, put the cover back on. Getting an A+. This chapter provides an overview of the different types of memory and installation of memory. I touched on the following points. Read-only memory is memory that can be read from, but not written to, and the information stored there is permanent. Random access memory is volatile memory that can be written to and read from. Information stored there is flushed out when power is lost. Dynamic RAM, DRAM, is memory that needs constant refreshing of its memory cells. It is also the type of memory that is typically upgraded on systems. Static RAM is static memory, meaning that it does not need refreshing as often as DRAM does. SRAM is also faster than DRAM. SRAM is typically used for cache memory. Today's systems have L1 and L2 cache unique to each processor core. A large amount of L3 cache is built into the processor that is shared between processor cores. Memory is installed with memory modules, whereas 72-pin SIMMs were popular in original Pentium systems. DIMMs are now the popular memory module for desktop systems. Laptops use SODIMMs as their memory module type. You need to know the type of memory your system uses before you upgrade your system. For example, you need to note whether your system uses SDRAM or DDR memory. Also be sure to note the speed of the memory. Prep test. Which of the following types of memory is used for cache memory? A, SRAM, B, DRAM, C, EDO RAM, or D, SDRAM. Let's go with A, SRAM, or static RAM. 2, you are a technician for a company and have been asked to install memory in a dual channel configuration. Which of the following types of RAM can be installed? Dual channel. Well, I know DIMM, dual inline memory module, SDRAM. Let's do B. 3, you are assessing a system and trying to locate the cache memory. Where does the level 1 cache reside? Motherboard, video card, CPU, or BIOS? The level 1 cache we know resides in the CPU. 4, you are a technician for your company and you have been asked to upgrade the RAM on a salesperson's laptop. What type of memory module will you install? Micro DIMM, L1 cache, DRAM, SODIMM, or DIMM. On the laptop, select 2. Let's put micro DIMM and SODIMM. B and E. 5. Your manager is looking for memory that can protect against data corruption in the memory module. What feature is she looking for in her memory? Parity. Because parity has the error detection mode. Or hold on, that can protect against data corruption. Well, hold on. Parity doesn't protect against corruption. It just notifies that corruption has occurred. ECC tries to fix the corruption. That's A. Let's change our answer. I almost chose parity, but I thought about it for a little bit and I thought, wait a minute. Parity doesn't fix it. It just notifies. 6, you are a technician for your company and have been asked by management to upgrade the RAM from 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes in all the desktop systems within the accounting department. You have purchased a number of DDR3 memory modules. Some of the desktops are currently running DDR2 and others are running DDR3. Which of the following represents the outcome of the upgrade? The DDR2 desktops can use the new DDR3 memory as long as the DDR3 modules are installed in the first slot. The DDR2 desktops can use the new DDR3 memory as long as the DDR3 modules are installed in the last slot. The DDR2 desktops can be upgraded as long as you alternate between the slots using DDR2 DDR3 modules. The desktops using the DDR3 are the only systems that can be upgraded. Let's go with the DDR2 desktops can be upgraded as long as you alternate between the slots using DDR2 and DDR3 memory modules. Because earlier we read about how you have to have the same type of memory in even or the same type in odd. So if we have 2 different types, as long as we alternate and keep each of the types with its same type, even and odd, we should be fine. 7. How many pins does a DIMM have? Select all that apply. 64, 128, 168, 32, 184, 196, 240. I wanted to say 64, 128, 64, 128, 32, 64, 128. Let's just do A, B, and F. It's just a guess. I don't remember the numbers on this. 8. You are upgrading the RAM on a desktop system and need to install RAM that is compatible with PC2 5300. Which of the following are compatible and would maintain the performance of the desktop? PC2 6400. Because as long as it's a PC2, it should be fine. It's a little bit faster, but that means it'll just match the speed of what's already on the system. So it'll just go a little bit slower, but it'll keep the system running the performance it's been at. So it'll be working. 9. If your memory data is corrupted, what type of error is created? A parity error. 9 is B. 10. You are a service technician for your company. Your manager has asked you to install memory in the sales manager's desktop. You notice that there are 4 memory slots in the desktop. 2 slots are colored blue and 2 slots are colored black. In what configuration would you install memory in order to get the best performance? The slower memory should be installed in pairs within the black slots. Memory modules of the same size and speed should be installed in pairs in either the blue or black slots. The slower memory should be installed in pairs within the blue slots. Alternate between the blue and the black slots as you install each memory module. Let's go with the slower memory should be installed in pairs within the black slots. (11) What type of memory is typically used for storing computer BIOS code? BIOS code is usually in ROM. 11 is D. And you can't write to the manufacturer. They can send a disk, a drive, and you could maybe electronically change the ROM. But as it is, it's read-only memory. 12. You're installing 2 DDR2 memory modules. One is 800 megahertz and the other is 600 megahertz. Which of the following represents the speed at which both memory modules will run? 2 DDR2 memory modules. One is 800, the other is 600. Which of the following represents the speed at which both memory modules will run? 600. 12 is C. Because they're going to run at the slower one. Even though they're different speeds, they can run together. But the faster one will have to go slower. The slower one can't go faster. 13. How many DIMMs are used to fill a memory bank in an Intel i7 system? How many DIMMs? 13. Let's go with 2. I want to say 4. Let's go with 4. 13D. And let's check the answers. Number 1 was A. Number 2 was B. In order to take advantage of dual channel memory, you must have a motherboard to support it and be using DDR2, DDR3 memory. 2 was D. Following is on dual channel. Yep. 3 was C. 4 was B and E. Sodium or microdim. 5 was A. 6 was C. No, 6 was D. because you purchased DDR3 memory, you can only upgrade the RAM in systems that take DDR3. 6 was D. Upgrade as long as you alternate between the slots. Dang. You're a technician for the computer. Or 2 DDR3. Yeah, there's a confusion there about memory type and memory speed. 7. CEG. Nope. 8. D. When upgrading RAM in a system. Yep. 9. B. 10. B. When installing memory in a system, try to install the memory into a dual channel configuration to get the best performance results. To do this, you must have 2 memory modules. 11 is D. 12 is C. 13 is A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 13 is compared to 1300 divided by 8. 8 times 1. No. One, 8, 50, 36, 48, 62. So I think 62.